Just give it a couple minutes.
Okay.
While we're waiting, do any of you have any general command questions that you can ask me now, and then I can just answer them after we're done with this training on the
I think I'm good, for now.
Okay. Awesome. All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Share my screen. Okay. You know this stuff anyway. Hold on a second. Okay. On a command first. So today we're going to talk about checklists and opportunities. How to use them, how to update them, modify them, and what they're going to look like kind of going forward too. Oh, this is another cool thing too. There's going to be this whole new, you guys don't have this yet, but when someone new logs in a command, they're going to have this whole welcome. It's the first time I've seen it. It's kind of like a tutorial on like your first few things you should do when you get into command. I wonder. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Kind of like walks you through. Color cloud. Sorry, I'm just gonna look at it really quick. Like, so like when a new agent first logs into command, this is what the experience they'll have. Getting started.
You mean to set up the account?
What's that?
You mean to set up the account, the welcome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure they'll add more functionality, and there was a video too, but that was kind of cool. Okay. So we're gonna go to opportunities. Yeah.
You are.
Uh-huh.
You're not talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing the 11 o'clock training.
Oh.
For checklist.
Okay. I found my little note.
Oh, I'll come get you after. Okay, let's let this load. A bunch of spinning wheels. Okay, so the easiest way to update them when you're in opportunities is just to kind of click on any of the, you would do like, you have a listings checklist, you would have a buyer's checklist, and a checklist releases, right? So they're all gonna have different checklists. I would start probably just by clicking on like any of the different stages. And once you're in there, then you come up here and we have this little pencil and you can edit the different stages. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're able to edit all of our cultivate stages here. Few of the different things you can do are you can go ahead and just move the stages around completely. You can rename them from like watch to say, you know, could say like new contact. And you can delete a stage. So if your cultivate stage, you just want it to be one stage, you could go ahead and just delete them all and just have one stage. We also have this option here. What is this? Oh, I don't know if I wanted to click that. What do you got here? So this, I don't know if you guys have this yet, but this is what's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'll go ahead and show it to you. We have this ability now to give client updates once we check off checklist items. So what that does is when we check a checklist item off and we say that that checklist item is a client update item. So for instance, that would be if you have a listing, let's say you have a checklist item that is, put sign in the ground. So the sign got put in the ground. So we check that item off, and now your client has an email notification saying the sign is in the ground or the sign is ordered. So you're updating them as things are happening, and you're not having to physically send them an email, but it's updating them with what's going on. So it might be a faster way to interact with your clients, and they can see everything that's happening along the way. Does that make sense? Or is that something that you think that would be useful?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I agree.
So from that little cog wheel, this kind of gives you a way to when those emails will go out, right? Because you're just going to say that it's a client update item. And then this is when you would say it would go out. You'd say a little before noon every day. And then select marketing profile you wish to send emails from, marketing profile in case here. So I should have an option there, but for some reason it's not there. You can make sure it goes to just the primary client, or if you have 2 people on there, it will get sent to. Email templates. Let's see. And this is kind of what it'll look like too. So pretty basic email. All right, let's go back to the opportunity and talk about the checklist though. That's something that's coming. So. All right, so to update your checklist items for each stage, you can see that these letters are green. So what you do is just click on them, and then we can go ahead and we can do a couple things here. We can move them around. We can add an item. And as I said earlier, you're gonna eventually have this item pretty soon here in the next couple of weeks, few weeks after probably Mega Camp. If you want this to be a client update item, so what that means is literally after you check this item is done, it's going to send them an email. So then you would want, if you would want them to get an email after completing that item, you would just check that, and then you would know it's a client update item because it'll have a little envelope name. Another option you can do here is we can delete any of these different ones. We can edit it, edit the name. And then when you're all done and you like the order and the name of your, checklist item, you just hit save. And then you can move on to, the next stage, which is now, this is a new contact. My checklist would be, I do a follow-up call, I do a follow-up text, and then I do a follow-up email. And I may do all those at the exact same time. And these aren't necessarily ones that I would want to update that person with, because I don't think it makes sense to follow up with an email and then have an email saying that saying that I just sent them an email. Like that would seem a little weird. It makes more sense when you're kind of like got the listing and you're starting to run through all the things to get them set up to get their listing to go live, really. So, and then you simply save it, and then you can go on and make your checklist items. So my next one, they're in the nurture phase. I just have it. I add them to a smart plan, and I start sending them. Is this the cultivate? This is for listing. I'm not sure why I would send them MLS listings. Maybe I'm under buyers though. No, this is listings. That's a weird one. I'll probably delete that. And then this one, I probably wanted to say, add to.
Come on.
Quarterly call plan. All right, that's kind of a nurture phase. And then if I think that this could potentially be a appointment, I'm calling to set up an appointment. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody how to do that?
Yeah.
Can you see why or when you would use it? Like so Genevieve, you obviously do the probably one of the more seasoned agents on the call. Do you have a checklist that you generally like to follow when you're working with a listing or a buyer?
Yes, I'm pretty good actually on well, for listing I go pretty fast. On the buyer on the buyer side, I mean it's the market is so fast and I talk to them regularly right now. Buyer or
Okay.
seller.
Well, let me show you.
For the prospect, I call them like maybe depend how hot is the prospect, but I will call them like every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I will always find an excuse why to call them,
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Something of like that they may want to hear, like you found another house that fits something they were looking at, or whatever, or
Yeah. So all the auto search for me, I mean, I don't know if that works for everybody. All the auto search that my clients receive, I
Uh-huh.
also receive the same email. It comes to me.
Oh, I do the
So,
same thing. I do the exact same thing.
so to follow up, they don't know. Also, they don't know that I know when they're looking at the email. So that's how I follow up with them.
Okay.
You know.
So just to make it clear, when we edited that stage, we were on the cultivate. So we were able to, update these 3 stages within cultivate. If we want to go ahead and update our checklist for all of our appointment stages, we have to click appointment,
You ready?
click edit stages, and then we can update all of those checklist
Come on.
items
Come on. Let's go.
under appointments. Okay. And then one thing I don't think I mentioned is you can also, like, if 3 isn't enough or you accidentally deleted one of the stages, you can add a new stage, give it a name. So the probability that you notice here is they're calling it like the probability that that deal will close based on that contact being entered into that stage. So if I keep an appointment and I have it and I complete the appointment, these are just standard that were put in there when Command first started. And I think technically after you put in 50 deals through Command, it should start to record your own probabilities based on how well you are converting. So, or you should maybe,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So there should be or you could go back and see, where you remember where you started those people at, and you can maybe start updating these probabilities. So, okay, when I keep an appointment with somebody, I close this amount of times out of this amount of appointments, right? So then you can kind of have a good idea of how many appointments do you even need to hit your goal, right? Because that's something that you should know. Let me see, back to listing. So then at that point, you only have to do this one time, really, and then you're just checking off items. Let me just go back here one second. All right, so this is like an under contract. So this is where you're gonna have the bulk of your checklist items, most likely. The escrow stage, making sure, following, maybe one of the items would be following up with the agent to make sure that they submitted the escrow check, getting confirmation, and then inspections, putting the deadline, because let me see here, let me edit the stage. Inspections, so deadline for home inspection. So I would want to save that. And I'd probably make that a client update too. And the reason why I want to put that there is because for a listing, let me just move this over here. To access those items, you have your opportunity here. You just click on this, and this is our checklist. Once we got into that, I would want to go ahead and set the due date for that. So I would know exactly when all my deadlines were, Um, and then when the inspection phase is completely done, we're moving on to appraisal, you can go ahead and, you know, check it off. You could hit client update from this point and then check it off. So that way your client knows that we're past the home inspection phase. They'll probably know because on a listing, if they're doing a home inspection, they're going to be done with that phase pretty quickly. But it's just an instance of how you would use the checklist, right? So you have it in the inspection phase, you click on the checklist little box here, and from here you can add one-offs too. You can add one-off checklist items. You know, maybe you have to follow up with someone, like follow up with, let's see, the buyer agents. It could be specific, fire with buyer agents on, in the inspection document. What is it? The report. There we go. Inspection report. And we can save it. Right, just so we can make sure we get the report or get the HICRA, whatever. I guess it's not called the HICRA anymore, but anyway. So do you think you guys would be comfortable going in here and you would know how to go in here and add some checklist items?
I'm not sure. I may need some practice.
Okay. So like I said, you start with listing, start with cultivate, click edit stages, and then just go through. And if these aren't how you do business, like maybe for the cultivate stage, you only have like a nurture and you just delete all of these and you can just add a bunch of checklist items under nurture. You know, that would be one way to do it. And then you go back to listings and you go to appointments, and maybe you don't need a scheduled, you know, maybe you just need to have a scheduled, and then what happens after, and then like a post appointment stage. And then you can add, so for instance, for the, you know, scheduling, it could be, you know, send the confirmation email of appointment, confirm morning of. These would all be checklist items. And then the post appointment would be, you know, send listing agreement, follow up on listing agreement, get listing agreement signed. And then once they're all done with those items, then you're moving somebody from kept and then you're moving them to active because they are now signed. But it's just a way for you to stay organized and keep it in command and in front of you. So because the opportunities are a way for you to look at all your business, you know, as our funnel. So this is kind of like the top end of the funnel, and this is like the middle to bottom end. And then when you're in a contract, you're pretty close to the bottom of the funnel, and then close should be, you know, the dripping of your commission. That's the thought process of how opportunities should be used. You know, you're putting stuff in, even if they're not active deals. So that way you have a complete look at all of your potential business. So if you're using it at a high level, that's how you should be using it.
2 weeks ago.
Any questions with that?
Mike,
Yes.
this is when you deal with a buyer agent, right? Because this is like you have listing and you receive a contract, so you need to follow out all of this information which you're showing now. So this is for agents who have listing and getting contract from the buyer agent.
What's your question?
Yeah. What about when you had when you deal with a selling agent, do you have contract? You put the contract in the property, and then you need to uploading all the contract on the command. So this is totally different.
Okay, so you're not asking about the checklist items, right? It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I do. For example, if you have if you receive any contract from the buyer agent, you need to upload it to the command.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're asking, but I just want to make sure you're not asking about any of the checklist items. You're asking where to upload compliance documents once they've been ratified.
I got you. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna open it up just to make sure that we've completely covered this topic first, since it was the topic of discussion. And then if no one has any issues or questions on how to get started with the checklist, then I can certainly I can cover and show you how to do that.
All right, that's fine.
Cool. So Peter or Genevieve, or even
Yeah.
Jorge, was there anything with the checklists? They had a question with how to get started, what you should use them for, how to use them, that I can answer before I move on.
I just need to practice. I think I'm fine,
Okay.
I don't have a question right now.
Yeah, and I'm good as well. I think like everybody, just learning by doing. So I'll do some practicing as well.
Okay.
Thanks,
Sure.
Mike. We'll appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely, Jason. Didn't see you pop in there. Okay, so Jorge, once you get contracts on a property, are you the listing agent? Is that what we're talking about here?
No, I'm not a listing agent. I represent the buyer.
Okay. So not much difference, but I'll move to a buyer just to show you. Once you get a contract ratified with a property in command, you want to go ahead and move it to under contract first. Okay.
Okay.
So you'll move it to under contract. And you see how I did that? I just clicked it and then moved it up here to one of these different stages. Right?
Right.
So I moved it to under contract, and then the first item in under contract is ratified. So from here, I clicked on the opportunity. I'm going to go to documents, and you should already have your exclusive right to represent and all these other documents uploaded.
I do.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'm saying, you should have your exclusive right to represent, your agency agreement with your buyers. If you haven't
Right.
uploaded that yet.
It's not uploaded on my assistant yet.
Okay. So wherever you have that signed, you need to get it as a digital PDF somehow. And to upload these documents, you simply just hit add a file. And if you're not using DocuSign, then you would simply just, browse your computer by clicking browse and find where they are. And you just click on document to upload it.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what you would do for the consult. So these are 3 different areas, right? So we have the consultation, which is all the agency and pre-documents that you need to get shored up with your client. And then we have all the under contract documents that need to be separated. So we'll have just the ratified sales contract, we'll have the DPOR property disclosure, and we upload them the same way.
Okay.
Add a file. If it's on your computer, which I think they probably are for you, you just hit browse, find the file, and add it to the spot. These are all placeholders. These are not actual documents, right? So you just find you go down the list. Consider this your list of items that the market center and our broker Brad needs from you to approve your transaction to get paid on.
Okay.
So you're literally just looking at this list. If you have that document, you're adding the file, finding the document, and clicking on it, assigning it essentially.
So when he reviewing the contract, everything is okay. He notify me that it's approved.
So once you upload all the documents and you're comfortable with it, this submit to Market Center, MC stands for Market Center. It'll turn green. You just click it, and you have to do that for consultation. You upload those. You'll click submit. Under contract, you upload them with that file. You hit submit, and then once your deal is closed, you'll upload the fully signed ALTA. And by fully signed, I mean it's signed by the buyers and it's signed by the sellers from closing. And you can get that from the closing company just by asking. You'll upload that to where it says closing documents, and then you'll submit that to Market Center. Okay.
Okay.
And then that triggers an email to Brad, so he knows to go in here and look and approve all those documents for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Understand.
Awesome. Anyone with any other questions?
Yeah, so Mike, you said then when you submit all the document to Brad, we know then it's being approved by him when it's turned green, you say?
Yeah, it'll be green and approved.
Okay. All right.
They don't have to be shared the document with him, right?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I don't have to share that all the files with Brad. So
What would you not want to share with him?
I mean, when he added the file, I have to share with his email in order to his reviewing.
This has nothing to do with his email. If you have a ratified sales contract and you're the buyer agent, you're going to upload the ratified sales contract. You're going to upload the DPOR. You're going to upload, you probably don't need to do the copy of the EMD. But you're going to, if you're doing a home inspection and you have a signed home inspection addendum, you're going to upload that. You're going to upload any rebate letters. You're going to upload any escalation addendums. Go down the list. If you have one of these items, go add the file and then submit to Market Center. He wants to see every part of the deal.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. Okay.
If there's a document that is signed by your buyers and that's signed by the sellers, it should be uploaded in Command. If you don't see a spot for it, let me know and I'll add it. Well, it was kind of a quick one, but I hope you guys really dive in and work on those checklist items because I think they'd be really helpful in keeping you consistent and making sure that you're not missing anything on any of your transactions, right? So you're kind of doing it the same way, coming at it from a systematic approach. KW is all about models, following a model and doing it the same way, so that way you can deliver that consistent high level experience for your clients. So that's what this is designed for. It's what it's set up for. So I hope you at least take a look at it and give it a try.
Mike, what about the green sheet? Are they still do the green sheet for the commission pay?
No, we don't do green sheets anymore.
What is replacing that? Or how did you submit all the information between buyer and seller?
Okay, so once you get your ratified sales contract, what you want to do is you want to go here to offers. You'll add a new offer. Just leave it initial offer, that's fine. And then you're just going to go through and add the different, you put in the address, so 46191. All right, we'll do that.
I think so. It's the urine. It's there. It's not as easy to
We'll fill in these items.
remedy or fix.
And this is all information you should have. You may not have you have the name of the sellers, but you won't have the email and stuff, so you don't need to put that. You'll have the other agent's name and email, so you can put that.
Got it.
And then you'll have the terms, cash, finance, sales price. This is how much their earnest money deposit was for. There's no option fees in Virginia. This is, but I think they do that in Texas, so you won't need to do anything there. And the termination option is, it's just the last day of the last contingency. So normally that's the financing contingency, which is normally people put like 22 days there, whatever it is. So you can just put that.
Mike, if you have a bonus, if you have like extra money, where do you put it?
You send it to me. I'm kidding. So like an admin fee?
No, it's like sometime on the
Oh, the agent's paying a bonus because like they're desperate to sell it.
yeah, or something, yeah. So
Yeah.
where do you put it?
That's going to be on the commissions tab.
But you are on the commission tab here.
This is the offer. We have to do the offer first. So
Oh, this is not the
I'll run through
commission
here
here?
and then I'll show you what it looks like on the commissions and where to put that. So, so Jorge, then once you put in, the cash is how much they're putting down, it's how much they're financing. Again, you should know that. And then we click agent analysis. Oh gosh, it has to be fine. We'll just put 100,000 finance. don't worry about this for now, the agent analysis. Just get your offers in, and then when this becomes more usable, we'll talk about it. So
Mhm.
just, you'll hit save, and then now we have an offer here. As you can see, commissions is still grayed out because this is where we're doing commissions. In order for it to become active, you have to accept the offer that we just created. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And as you can see now, commissions is active. And
Right.
Genevieve, I'll show you where to do that. So now you click on commissions, and this is where you're going to update all the information to make sure it's accurate. You're going to make sure that, you know, they're paying. This is what the MLS says you're getting paid. It's simply going to go and use this number, the sales price, to get your total commission. If you have any things that,
You don't enter manually, right? They calculate it based on the commission MLS.
yeah, all I did was put in the sales price and commission rate.
Oh, okay.
And if it's wrong, you just need to update. You just need to update what the commission rate is.
Aye, right, okay.
Edit here. Then for Genevieve, it's a bonus. You go to agent payment, and we need to add. We'll go to the very bottom, and we'll add an item.
Okay.
Click on bonus, and then I don't know, what are they normally, like $5,000? And
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think bonuses are not normally.
There's no
Counted.
split.
They're right. So you want to make sure this is not checked.
Okay.
Maybe in some cases, in some market centers, they are counted in the split. I don't believe they are here. So that's why they're kind of a big deal. And you just add. Can't be higher than. Okay.
All right,
Well,
got it.
And then you just get that. And then
Thank you.
once you see that, if you have an error, it's going to show right here under submit. Okay. It's going to show you how much you're paying against your royalty. Not even showing my other breakdowns, but if you're happy with it, you just hit submit, and then it goes off for you.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and check.
I'm going to go, Mike. Thank you very much for the class.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for coming, Genevieve. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. See you. Bye.
Anyone else with any questions?
I'm good for today. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Jason?
The same thing with the leasing, when you put a leasing on it for commission, it's the same process with the,
Exact same, just different documents. You
different-
still have to do the offer. Actually, I don't believe with leases there is an offer. I think you just go straight to commissions.
Yeah, I think it's leasing agreement and commission.
Yeah, but there's still documents you need to upload. You upload them the same way. There's
Same
just a different flow. We got a lot of spinning wheels today. So probably a good time to be done. Any other questions I can answer?
Pretty much that's all.
Awesome.
But yeah,
If you have any questions, Jorge, just let me know, but give it a try.
yeah, I will try. So I think that's all for now.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I got the online contract, so I do my own. If I have another question, I email you. Okay.
Sounds good.
I
Okay,
think
thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.